Coming up on Biafra Truth Network News, the acting head of state of the United States of Biafra, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, delivers the State of the Nation address, reaffirming Biafra's independence. Also calls growth for international recognition as more nations express support. And new developments in the restrictions placed on Prime Minister Simon Ekpa by Finnish authorities. Stay with us for the full details. We begin tonight with the State of the Nation address by the acting head of state of the United States of Biafra, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze. In a strongly worded speech, she reaffirmed the nation's sovereignty following its redeclaration of independence on November 29, 2024. Speaking from Biafra Tower in the Confederation Capital Territory of Ebube, Dr. Orabueze called on all Biafrans to unite in building a strong and prosperous nation.
To Biafrans about our accounts. But now we have 3 accounts where we donate our money, the mandate, and the 2 accounts in Homeland, the TAJ and the FCMB. These 3 accounts are fully secured. Fully, when I mean fully secured, because the accounts are secured with banks that met international standard. And as a nation, we have a right to do what we do. Those people that are spreading those narratives to you that when you donate money somewhere, Tinubu will come after you. People are Christopher Musa. They are hiding. The world is looking for them to account for the evils that they are committing in the Nigerian territory. The only fear we have is ourselves, the ones that we develop by ourselves. And the people that are carrying these rumors, trying to create these fears among us, is some fellow Biafrans that are engineered by the Nigerian state to stop the full push to secure the United States of Biafra. They are the ones telling you, oh, if you put your money here, they'll do this. The whole world knows that President Tinubu reintegrates non-terrorists and opens bank accounts for them inside Nigeria. So how can he and Christopher Musa, it's a policy for them. And I tell any world leader or world press listening to me, it is a standing policy for the Nigerian state to reintegrate non-terrorists such as Boko Haram into the Nigerian state. These individuals, they open bank accounts for them. And these terrorists, they never repent. They call them repentant. They never repent. They are the ones that hijack the indigenous military equipment that Nigeria has and use that to chase away indigenous Nigerians from their homes and occupy their homes. The facts are there. If you need more information, the clear facts, you can text me 770-329-7339 and I'll send you all the documents, the facts of the case. The Nigerian government reintegrates non-terrorists, Boko Haram, ISWAP, ISIS, all of them. Allow them to open bank accounts in the Nigerian state using what he called the NIN number. Every Nigerian person on President Tinubu issues and what is called NIN number. Without this NIN number, they cannot open bank account. These terrorists kidnap people, ask for ransom. And when they ask for ransom, they use that NIN number, which they allow them to use to have their phones. So the telephone they use to call for ransom, Christopher Musa knows the number. They know the NIN number issued to these individuals. They know the NIN number they use to open bank accounts. Do they go after them? No. They are in Biafra land with their armored tanks, chasing for innocent Biafrans that do not want to live with these terrorists that they reintegrate. Our accounts are secure, and I'm not let Biafrans know. In the next couple of months, our bank will be operational. The United States of Biafra online banking will soon be operational for everyone. You have the right to go to that bank, put in your money, send money to your loved ones, and operate it just like you operate a regular national bank like Wells Fargo, Bank of America, and all that. So we're in the final stage to bring the Biafra Bank of Biafra to Biafrans. Until then, these bank accounts are secure. We will continue to use that to put our money. And more bank accounts coming. That is what we will continue to do. I want to let the world know, Biafrans are not terrorists. Nigerian government, with the Nigerian politicians and the Nigerian state, with the defense chief, Christopher Musa, they are the real terrorists. But they confuse you. They confuse people to the point that we, Biafrans, we are terrorists. They are the terrorists. They finance the terrorists. They allow Nigerian banks to open bank accounts for these terrorists that they reintegrate into the Nigerian system. When these terrorists are asking for ransom, the money goes through the same bank account. Because when they ask for ransom for $10,000 or $100,000, the money goes out from a Nigerian account. The money goes out from an individual account whose brother or son or children the terrorists are holding ransom. Christopher Musa does not track that. He does not track the money coming out. He does not tell the bankers to report when 100,000 leaves account. No, he don't do that. Because those 100,000 goes to the terrorist act. These are the facts of the case. So I'll encourage Biafran to continue to donate your money. Nothing is up. The individuals that Tinubu mentioned their name, these are innocent Biafrans. They are not terrorist financiers. But that is what they have to say, because they have to say something. Because they know that Biafra is already here. Continue to donate your money. We need this money. Our leader Nnamdi Kanu is languishing in DSS dungeon. What was his crime? What did he do? Because Nigeria is a failed state. And they want to drag everybody down. They want to drag everybody down. Thank God for the declaration of the United States of Biafra, November 29th, 2024. Thank you so much, Biafrans that travel from all over the world to be in Finland to declare the sovereignty of the United States of Biafra. We will continue to raise funds. We will continue to raise funds for humanitarian purposes. For all our innocent women, innocent men, innocent children that have been rendered as orphans by the Nigerian state. By our young men and women whose businesses have been burnt down by the Nigerian state just because they believe in the cause for Biafra. These are unarmed, innocent Biafrans that are being killed. Their brothers and sisters are being killed. They are locked up in different cells across Nigeria. Their businesses have been burnt down. Their homes have been destroyed by the Nigerian state just because they want to be Biafrans, just because they believe in Biafrans, just because they do not want to live in a country where you have two laws, Sharia laws in the north and secular law in the south. Where you, if you are born a Christian in the northern part of Nigeria, Nigerian state forces you to live by the Sharia. You all remember the story of Deborah, an innocent Christian that was living in the northern part of Nigeria, in the Sharia state, and she was burnt to death. She was stoned to death in front of the Nigerian leaders. President Tinubu never made a statement about that. Atiku, who is now coming out to run for Nigerian presidency, these are people that you call your so-called leaders, but they continue to kill innocent indigenous Nigerians and indigenous Biafrans. Countless cases in Ehamufu, in Aba, in Headbridge, Onitsha, where innocent Biafrans were murdered on the orders of Nigerian state, Christopher Musa, just because they are marching on for their own nation, which is Biafra. I think you are Biafrans. We will continue to raise funds to build our nation, Biafra. We have the right to do that. We are a sovereign state. We will continue to raise funds to ensure that those that come to kill us, that are sent by the Nigerian state, we will defend ourselves. Self-defense is allowed. We cannot fold our hands. Why the Nigerian terrorist state come in our land and kill us, kill our children, rape our women, rape our mothers, destroy our homes, burn our businesses in the ways of economic sabotage? Nobody will do this for us except us. That is what millions of Biafrans, over 50 million Biafrans that voted in the self-referendum to exit Nigeria. That is exactly what we did. They voted. Over 98% of Biafrans voted to exit Nigeria. This is something nobody can stop. Again, I thank you all. I thank our Biafra Liberation Army, the Biafra Defense Forces, the Air Force, and the Navy. I thank you for what you do every day to be ready for this final push towards our freedom.
She went on to highlight the strategic goals of the government, including strengthening diplomatic relations and securing economic resources for national development. Meanwhile, international response to Biafra's declaration continues to evolve. Several nations, including Gabon, Haiti, Ivory Coast, Tanzania, and Zambia, have shown recognition of the United States of Biafra. Additionally, the Eritrean government in exile and the Ambazonian leadership have officially acknowledged Biafra's sovereignty. Observers say growing diplomatic engagements could shape the future of the young nation. On security, Dr. Orabueze reassured citizens that the Biafra Defense Forces remain fully operational and committed to safeguarding the nation's territorial integrity. She reiterated that the Biafran military operates under international human rights laws and will not engage in acts of aggression against civilians.
The government is officially reaching out to foreign states for recognition of our sovereignty, advocacy for our nation, establishment of bilateral relations, and cooperation in subsequent areas of common interest, like economic partnerships, humanitarian support, to ensure the well-being and prosperity of our citizens. We appreciate and commend the United Nations members, Gabon, Haiti, Ivory Coast, Tanzania, and Zambia. We also appreciate Amazonia and the Eritrean government in exile, who have continued to recognize Biafra. Other countries like the Eritrean government in exile have officially recognized our independence. Several congressmen and women in the United States of America, South Korea, and Europe have expressed positive position to the independence of the United States of Biafra.
However, tensions remain high following continued military activities by Nigerian forces within Biafra territory. The government has once again called for their immediate withdrawal, emphasizing that Biafrans have the right to self-rule. Turning to diplomatic concerns, the restrictions placed on Prime Minister Simon Ekpa in Finland have sparked widespread condemnation. The Biafran government has formally reached out to international bodies, including the Finnish authorities, demanding clarification on what it describes as politically motivated actions.
The minister's absence has devastating consequences. He's been denied freedom and the right to continue leading the people of Biafra. Biafrans all over the world are devastated and worried. A record high number of atrocities and killing of hundreds of Biafrans have occurred in Biafra land since the current Finnish government's action against us and our Prime Minister in November 2024. Take note of the dirty game the foreign governments like the current Finnish government and Britain are already playing, probably positioning themselves and mobilizing for a new round of genocidal war of extinction of the people of Biafra. It will not go unnoticed or without consequences as far as the Biafran government is concerned. We advise them to do the right thing now, and instruct their partner, their agent of the failed entity, to restore the freedom of our boat leaders. Man up and withdraw their stranglehold on the people of God.
Meanwhile, in economic news, the United States of Biafra has issued a directive to foreign oil companies operating in Biafra land, demanding a monthly remittance of N50 million to the government. Officials say these funds will be used to rebuild the nation, improve healthcare, education, and infrastructure. As the United States of Biafra continues its journey toward full international recognition, its leaders are urging all Biafrans, both at home and abroad, to remain steadfast in their support. We will continue to bring you the latest updates on these developing stories. That's it for this edition of Biafra Truth Network News.
My brothers and sisters, can't you see? They took Nnamdi Kanu and we became divided. Again, they took our prime minister and now the kingdom is shattering once more. Every time we rise, they strike. To break us, to scatter us, to make us fight ourselves. But who gains from our division? Not us. Our oppressors sit back and watch, laughing as we turn against each other. While we argue, they rule. While we fight, they tighten their grip. Biafra, we must wake up. No more divisions, no more infighting. Our freedom comes first, before ego, before politics, before anything else.
Just to the top, we decline. But division, they bring us down. Make we no shine. We need love, we need light to heal our wounds. Biafra, our hearts beat as one. We go rise above.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Biafra Truth Network News. We continue with our top stories, focusing on the latest developments in the United States of Biafra. From international diplomatic efforts to economic initiatives, we bring you comprehensive coverage of the unfolding events. As Biafra charts its course toward full nationhood, economic policies remain a critical focus. The government has outlined a strategic plan to foster economic independence and infrastructure development. This includes the establishment of the Bank of Biafra, which has now been granted operational licensing. Officials say that within months, Biafrans will be able to access online banking services and conduct transactions using a new national currency.
Our Bank of Biafra is in progress as the license has been garnered, and soon Biafrans will start online banking and using our currency in our Biafra land.
Additionally, new identification systems are being rolled out. The government has announced that applications for national ID cards are now open, with the second and third batches nearly completed. Plans are also underway to introduce Biafra's first official passport and driver's license. Meanwhile, security concerns persist as foreign governments continue to monitor the situation in Biafra. The acting head of state has accused the Nigerian government of intensifying military operations in the region, allegedly to suppress Biafra's self-determination efforts. She has also warned against external influences attempting to destabilize the country.
The external oppressors. We take note of the dirty game the foreign governments, like the current Finnish government and Britain, are already playing, probably positioning themselves and mobilizing for a new round of genocidal war of extinction of the people of Biafra. It will not go unnoticed or without consequences as far as the Biafran government is concerned. We advise them to do the right thing now, and instruct their partner, their agent of the failed entity, to restore the freedom of our boat leaders. Man up and withdraw their stranglehold on the people of God. Stop the acts of intimidation. Rather, honor our invitation for a civilized and constructive discussion as equals to make the world a better place.
Human rights organizations have expressed growing concern over reports of ongoing detentions, disappearances, and extrajudicial killings in Biafra. the Biafra Truth Network has obtained exclusive footage showing alleged abuses by Nigerian security forces in several Biafran communities. Advocacy groups are now calling for an independent investigation into these violations. In response, the United States of Biafra has opened a dedicated human rights section within the Foreign Affairs Department. Biafrans worldwide are urged to document and submit evidence of human rights abuses for official records and legal action. In a strong appeal to the Biafran people, Dr. Orabueze called for greater unity and active participation in the nation-building process. She urged all Biafrans, both within the homeland and in the diaspora, to support ongoing initiatives, emphasizing that the future of Biafra depends on collective action.
Thank you so much, Biafrans, for your trust and belief in us. Our fundraising continues. There are 3 approved accounts. The accounts are safe, secure, and active. The Department of Justice have recognized United States of Biafra as a nation, and for that, we have the power, we have the legal power to do fundraising to support our United States of Biafra. We will continue to do that.
Looking ahead, the government has confirmed that preparations are underway for mass repatriations of Biafrans abroad. Direct flights from the United States to Biafra are expected to begin later this year. Additionally, discussions are ongoing to establish international trade agreements that will further stabilize the economy. And that brings us to the end of this segment. We'll continue to follow these developing stories closely and bring you updates as they unfold. Be sure to stay with Biafra Truth Network News for accurate, independent reporting on the path to Biafra's full sovereignty. Thank you for joining us. From all of us here at Biafra Truth Network News, I'm Joy Okafor. Goodbye and stay safe.
No, I hear Chinedu voice from under the soil. Brother, no let my blood turn to oil. Little Ada they ask where my papa go. Her small hand they shake, she no sabi this woe. I beg, my people see this fire we burn. Now our house they blaze, now our future they turn. We go tell their ghosts we no go fail you. If we hold this love, their death go burn you.
No, make we try yo. Back up in the day.
I beg my people see this fire we.
Welcome back to Biafra Truth Network News. If you're just joining us, we continue with our top stories. The United States of Biafra government has officially designated multiple organizations as terrorist groups. In a statement issued from Biafra Tower, the government announced the proscription of groups linked to militant activities and state-sponsored violence within USB territory. Among those listed are ISIS, West Africa, ISIS WA, Boko Haram, BH, Nigerian state-sponsored forces and special forces, Fulani Raiders, a militia under the Nigerian regime, Joint Task Force, Southeast Operation Ebubegu, Agunai Chimba, and AVG, all established by the Nigerian regime, Operation Udoga Achi, also established by the Nigerian regime units of the Nigerian Armed Forces Special Forces, AFSF, operating in USB territory, Lakurawa. The acting head of state and Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, signed the directive on behalf of Head of State and Prime Minister Simon Ekpa Njoku. The statement warns that any person or group engaged in activities linked to these designated organizations will be considered accessories to terrorism. We will continue to monitor reactions to this announcement and bring you updates as they unfold. And that brings us to the end of this segment. We'll continue to follow these developing stories closely and bring you updates as they unfold. Be sure to stay with Biafra Truth Network News for accurate, independent reporting on the path to Biafra's full sovereignty. Thank you for joining us. From all of us here at Biafra Truth Network News, I'm Joy Okafor. Goodbye and stay safe.
Our passport and driver's license will soon be out. Our ID card application is still in process, has been simplified. Please log into the Biafra Security Administration site and fill the forms and obtain your ID card. Almost the second, third batch of ID cards for our Biafrans have been filled, and we're currently working on the 4th batch of